Hi guys, so today we're going to talk about commercial fertilizers and why they're important for your plant growth, especially here in the desert Southwest where our organic matter is very thin and we have to continually add organic matter, whether it's natural or commercialized, to help our plants grow. But if you need something specific, how do you know? So if you know the amount of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium in each element and understand what each of them do, that'll help you decide what fertilizer to get for your particular needs. So let's say we put in a bunch of roses and we went to the nursery and went, oh, there's rose food. This is perfect. This is what I need to get. So to start with, this is probably a great fertilizer to get going on your roses. It's got 12, 6, and 10. So 12% nitrogen, 6% phosphorus, and 10% potassium. But at some point you're like, well, my plants look great. They're doing really well. They're green. They seem to be disease resistant and doing well, but I don't get very many blooms. So this probably isn't going to be the fertilizer that you need, believe it or not. So nitrogen helps with the green growth and it provides chlorophyll. It makes it green. It's what greens it up, which makes it really pretty. 6% is for blooms. So if you want more blooms, you want more flowers, this has to be higher. And then 10% potassium is great for just overall plant health. It kind of helps protect against diseases and helps the plant become stronger. So, to begin with, this was probably a great fertilizer. But at some point, if you're wanting more blooms as it's blooming, I probably wouldn't add this. So when we put in our annual flowers out front, we decided that we needed to start with, because we really didn't know what we needed to begin with. So we got a balanced fertilizer, and the reason that this is a balanced fertilizer, it's a slow release fertilizer, so it's going to release over time. And we wanted that so that we didn't have to continually put more fertilizer in all the time. But what's great about this is it's 14% nitrogen, 14% phosphorus, and 14% potassium. And so once we sprinkle that through, we know that that's going to be great for the flowers for the time to come, and that'll be good for us. This is also a balanced fertilizer. It's 20-20-20, so it's the same all the way across. So if anybody says, oh, you need a balanced fertilizer, you just know that those three numbers need to be the same all the way across. Now this one's interesting. This is the plant food. So you think, oh, it has flowers on it. This must be great for flowers. Maybe this is what I need. Well, maybe. Let's see. So we're going to turn it to the back and we're going to see what it is. It's 24, 8, and 16. Now, it has great nitrogen levels. So for lettuce, for kale, for anything that you need a lot of green growth on, this would be perfect because it has such a high nitrogen level. But it only has 8% phosphorus, which means that very low bloom. So if it's in the blooming cycle, you're not going to get very many blooms. So for tomatoes or for anything that gets blossoms, this is probably not going to be the right fertilizer to start with. You're going to need something that has a little bit higher phosphorus level. It does have a higher potassium level at 16%, which helps, with plant disease and resistance to plant disease. So that might be something to consider too. So this might be good for one thing, but not great for another. Now this is Orchid Food. And what I found interesting about this was I thought, well, do I want more blooms? Because orchids are new for me, so I'm trying to learn how to grow them. So what I wanted to do was kind of see what this one suggested. This one is a 30-10-10. So 30% nitrogen, 10% phosphorus, and 10% potassium. So the 30% is super high in nitrogen, which is going to help the plant growth and help it stay stable. And you have to fertilize the orchids every 2 weeks, but not much in the plant area or in the potassium level, maybe because it's an indoor plant, so it doesn't need as much disease resistance as some of the others. So that's kind of an interesting thought. Now finally, if I want blooms, this is what I'm going to be looking for. And notice how it says bloom booster, because it's supposed to help with blooms, and the reason that comes out like that is because it's super high in phosphorus. So it has 15% nitrogen, 30% phosphorus, and 15% potassium. So it's got a really high phosphorus level. So I know that when my flowers are blooming or when I'm getting ready to put for the time for them to bloom, this is the fertilizer that I need because I want to have more blooms. I want them to be stronger. So this would be the one for flowers. So as long as you know what those nutrients are and what they do for your plants, you can find anything that you need, which is great.